If you're law enforcement and you've ever wondered, has someone made a keychain flashlight designed specifically for me? Well, the answer is yes, and Nitecore has got you covered, Chief. This is the Tiki LE. The Tiki line from Nitecore is their version of the Aurora series from Rovivon, although you can get the Tiki series much cheaper. The Rovivon line of lights generally starts at around $25 for their basic models and goes up from there, whereas I found this on Amazon for just under $20, so these are definitely more affordable. The light is very small, comes in just a little over 2 inches long, little over half an inch in diameter, and it's very lightweight, only weighs about 10 grams. The light is also IP66 water resistant, so it's going to be totally safe against any rain or water that's splashed on the light, although I wouldn't take it swimming, probably wouldn't stand up to that. I do think they did very well with the user interface on this flashlight. If you press and hold the button, you're going to get your turbo mode, so that's a momentary mode, and that's going to come on at 300 lumens, which for the size of the light is pretty bright. You'll get the turbo for 30 minutes, so if you want to use the full 300 lumens, you'll be able to do it for about 30 minutes. Then if you double click the button on the flashlight, it's going to go into your constant on modes. You don't have any programmable memory here, so the light will always come on starting at the lowest mode, which is their moonlight mode. That is 1 lumen, and you'll get moonlight at 1 lumen for about 40 hours. The next mode up is their low. That's going to be 15 lumens, and you'll get that for about 4 hours. The next is medium, which is 60 lumens. You'll get that for an hour. And finally, it'll go up to turbo, which is 300 lumens again at 30 minutes. If you triple click the flashlight, this is how you're going to get to your auxiliary lights. There are 2, but there are 3 modes. So you have 1 red light and 1 blue light. When you triple click, first it's going to go to the red light. That is 3 lumens, which will last for about an hour. If you click it once more, it'll go to the blue light, which is 0.8 lumens, and that'll last for about 45 minutes. If you click it one more time, it'll go to the red and blue flashing. So this is where the LE comes in on the Tiki Lee, and we'll talk more about that later on in the review. I do have some thoughts on that. Overall though, the beam itself is really good. It's a lot of flood, it's mostly flood, it's very bright for its size at the 300 lumens. So it's plenty bright. It's definitely bright enough to, if you wanted to, hang out with your grill at 9 p.m. in your backyard, you can do that. You can also make some weird shadow puppets, I guess. The moonlight mode is also really great. At that 1 lumen, it's, I think, the perfect level for a moonlight mode. Now, before I talk about the last mode, the flashing mode, I do want to mention something I don't really like about the UI, and that is for the turbo mode, or the momentary, there's a delay, and it's noticeable. It's definitely a noticeable delay between when you click the button and when the light comes on. It's just kind of annoying. I just wish that it didn't have the delay. That's all. Okay, so the flashing blue and red. This is where the LE comes in on the Tiki Lee. They say on their website, like, it's called the Tiki Lee, right? It's the Tiki law enforcement. For some reason, they still kind of try to market it towards like your average Joe on the website and stuff, trying to say that this is like a signaling device. I kind of disagree. I mean, like, yeah, it's going to get someone's attention, but at least in the States, generally speaking, when people see blue and red, their mind's going to go, oh, that's a cop. They're doing something over there. They're not going to go, oh, that person needs my help. Because generally speaking, cops don't want your help. I mean, there are some times then where, citizens step in and assist an officer. Totally aware of those. But those are definitely the exception, not the rule. Generally speaking, when people see blue and red flashing lights, they don't want to go and check it out. Basically what I'm trying to say is I don't think the blue and red is going to be a good signaling device like they try to say it is on the website. I think that really, keeping a name with the LE designation on the slate, I think this is going to be maybe most useful for someone who is law enforcement and they want to have something very small, very lightweight on their keys that they could maybe use when they're off duty or something, maybe something comes up, to identify themselves as law enforcement to other people around them. That's where I can see this maybe being useful. But going with that, I really think this light should have had a clip. It doesn't come with a clip, and there's no attachment point for a clip on it. Just the key loop in the back, so you're going to have to only hang it on your keys. Which for me, because the LEDs are only on one side of the light, if the light is flopping around, you know, it may not be as noticeable as you really need it to be. So I feel like it should have had a clip, so maybe you can clip it to, you know, a chest pocket, or clip it to your shirt or something in some way, to serve in that role as a identifier of you being law enforcement. I don't know why I didn't have a clip. Should have had a clip. So overall, I think this light is pretty cool. It's cheap. It's under $20. But the output of the forward-facing LED, you know, the white light, I think is very good, especially for its size. I was kind of surprised. The brightness is really good. The beam pattern is nice, and I do like how it's a warmer tone of light. I think those are better for most uses, that warmer light. The UI is really good, with the exception of that delay on the momentary. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just kind of annoying, you know. And the red and blue flashing, I really think is only going to be useful for law enforcement. Oh, one thing I want to add on that too is, this is a thought I was having when I was testing out the light. If you're not law enforcement, I would be careful with the red and blue. Simply because here in the States, at least, you can get busted for impersonating an officer. Even if that's not your intention, if you run across, you know, a cop who's having a bad day, they're kind of cranky that day, they might pinch you for that. So I would be real cautious if you're not law enforcement and you want to use the red and blue flashing on this. You could get in trouble. So just, that's something to be aware of. But overall, I think it's a really cool light, especially if you are someone who is in law enforcement. I think this could maybe provide some utility to you, and it's fairly inexpensive too. Alright guys, so that's what I think about the Tiki Lee. As always, if you have any ideas on gear you want to see me take a look at next, just drop it in the comments below, and I hope you have a good day.